Hey, thanks for meeting me here again as we continue to go through the book of Proverbs together. Proverbs chapter 19 is where we are. And here's what I want you to consider today. Maybe you haven't thought of this before, but how teachable are you? And when you look for wise people to surround yourself with, wise people to hire, or wise people to work with, or whatever else, how do you assess someone's wisdom? Do you consider how teachable they are? And maybe if you grew up playing organized sports, or if you've been a coach at some point, you've probably said something like this, that I would rather a kid that is coachable rather than a kid with all the talent in the world. And that's the same thing, being coachable, being teachable, someone who realizes that they don't know everything, someone who realizes that they still have things to learn. Maybe if you're a leader, you've heard it like this, that a leader is a learner. A leader is someone who is always learning, always subjecting themselves to more learning, realizing they don't know everything yet. In order to be a great leader, you have to be a great learner. How teachable are the leaders around you, and how teachable are those that you put in positions of leadership? Well, Proverbs is telling us that if we serve an all-wise God and we fear the Lord, then that puts us in a humble position to realize that we don't have it all together. Proverbs 19:25 says it like this, as it's kind of talking about the degrees of teachability. It says, "Strike a scoffer, a foolish person, and the simple will learn prudence." And so they're saying there's these folks that are simple. They're not stuck in their ways like the scoffer, but it takes a little bit for them to be teachable, to see a scoffer struggle and to bear the consequences of their unwise behavior. Let them see that, and then they will learn prudence. It takes them a little bit to be teachable, but nevertheless, they're not stuck in their ways. Maybe that's where you are right now, but you need to grow in your teachability. Listen to what it says at the rest of verse 25. Reprove a man of understanding. So reprove a man of understanding. Just tell him what he's doing wrong, and he will gain knowledge. So a person who is a wise person is easily teachable. In fact, if you turn back to Proverbs 17:10, it says, "A rebuke goes deeper to a man of understanding than 100 blows into a fool." A fool is a person that just doesn't learn. Every job that they lose, every hardship that they face, it's always someone else's problem. It can't be them. They always blame other people. You had that kid in your class in high school, didn't you? I know I did. That said, all the teachers, they just hate me. It's like maybe the common denominator here is you. Maybe the problem is that you're not teachable. You're always talking in class and always being disruptive. And the reason you have problems with all of your teachers is not because all the teachers hate you. It's because 1,000 blows are just not getting through to you. Maybe I've said it like this before, I've heard it like this before, that unteachable people will die the death of 1,000 cuts. It's always the one little issue here, one little issue there, and they just never learn. But I'm not asking you to just decide how teachable those people around you are. I want to look at my own heart. Say, how teachable am I? I love how J.I. Packer said it. He said, "Not until we have become humble and teachable, standing in awe of God's holiness and sovereignty, acknowledging our own littleness, distrusting our own thoughts, and willing to have our minds turned upside down, can divine wisdom become ours." Are you humble? Are you teachable? Are you willing to learn? Are you willing to admit that you have not arrived and you still have to grow because you're pursuing the fear of the Lord? Verse 27, have you ceased to hear instruction? Verse 20, are you still listening to advice and accepting instruction that you may gain wisdom in the future? how teachable are you?